Hi, and thanks for joining me on the short PowerPoint about buy down mortgages. You're gonna know everything you need to know about buy downs, how they work, and how to use them when we're done with this short PowerPoint. So this is a buy down calculator, and in this example, I've got an $807,000 purchase price, 10% down, so the loan amount $726,000. The interest rate 6.25%, which is the active rate today as I'm recording this. 30-year loan, and we're looking at what's called a 3-2-1 buy down. So in a 3-2-1 buy down, we take that initial rate of 6.25% and reduce it all the way down to 3.25%. So it's reduced by the 3%. Then now each year there's going to be an increase in the interest rate of 1%. So in the second year it'll go to 4.25%, then it'll go to 5.25%, then finally 6.25% for the remainder life of the loan. So a buy down is almost like an adjustable rate loan, except it has a very limited range of movement. So it starts at 3.25, goes to 6.25, and it stays there forever. Now the cost of the buy down, that's the thing that has to be dealt with. So in this example, the cost of the buy down is $32,042, or 3.971% of the purchase price of the property. The buy down has to be paid by the seller. And so that's not going to work. This isn't going to work for a property that's newly listed where everybody thinks it's listed at the right price. It's going to fit for the property that's been on the market 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks or longer, that's clearly in need of a price adjustment. And this is a better way for a buyer to get what they need. So costs $32,042. Now on this spreadsheet, this is actually a flyer. You can see the breakdown of how the monthly payment, the interest rate and monthly payments go. So here it goes from 3.25% for the first year, the monthly payment, insurance, taxes, mortgage insurance, the total monthly payment. It's a reduction in the monthly payment amount of $1,328. That's a lot of money for a home buyer to experience. The second year, it's still going to be a $910 a month reduction in the monthly payment amount. The third year, it's still a $466 a month reduction in the monthly payment amount. And then it goes to the final monthly payment, $5,479. And so we've moved relatively gently into the fully amortized monthly payment amount. So we're helping the buyer achieve what they need to do. There's that cost again, and the APR for the loan, and it shows how that functions over a 4-year period of time. And then again, that continues on year 4 until year 30. So very safe loan program for a buyer to be able to know exactly what's going to happen with their monthly payment amounts. There's a second iteration of the buy down loan, and this one is a 2-1 buy down. So what happens in a 2-1 buy down, we've got the same purchase price, the same loan amount, same initial interest rate, but the rate comes down only to 4.25%, still a tremendously great rate. Then the second year it's 5.25, then 6.25, and then that's going to be the lifetime out for the balance of 30 years at 6.25%. Now that buy down cost is substantially less. Now it's $16,316. Again, it has to be paid by the seller. It can't be paid by the buyer, but that's an easier number for a seller to deal with. 2.022%. But again, what we're going to see is this is going to be applicable to properties that have been on the market for a while, 3 weeks to 6 weeks or longer, and everybody's starting to realize, oh, we've got a pricing problem. We need to readjust the price downward. So here's a couple of things to keep in mind about seller contributions. On conventional loans, and the vast majority of these loans are going to be conventional, if the buyer is putting 10% down, the seller can only contribute up to 3%. That's less than 10% up to 3%. But once they hit the magical 10% down payment to 25%, then it's 6%. So they can cover the entire cost of a 3-2-1 buy down in that 6%, because it's about a little over 4% or about 4%. And then the amount that's allowed increases. Investment properties, it's only 2%. Now, if we work with an FHA loan, then even with that minimum FHA down payment amount of 3.5%, we can go all the way to 6% seller credit. Very advantageous on an FHA. and USDA and VA are also in there. Now, how do you take advantage of the buy down? So one of the things that I'm going to say is that buyers are looking for a more affordable payment in the higher interest rate environment that we're living in right now. And this is one way to get them into a lower interest rate based payment amount, and then allow that to slowly rise and sit with the increases and live with them. A very interesting thing that's happened is I sat with a client and I showed this to him, and he looked at it and he was amazed that the monthly increase in the payment was going to be about the same increase as his cost of living payment. And so he looked at it and he said, "Well, why, Otto, this allows me to buy a property now, keep my payment relatively comfortable. I'll get the cost of living increases each and every year, and then I'll be in a good place. And by the time year 4 rolls around, I'm already earning more and I can buy a house today rather than try to wait out whatever is going to happen here." And like I said, there's no danger, as with the adjustable rate mortgages, of these crazy high lifetime caps. It's, in this example, 6.25%. Now those rates will adjust a little bit, the initial rate and the lifetime rate on the buy down, but they're very, very safe. And so we're not going to experience what happened in 2006 and 7 and 8. Now, this is a property specific flyer. So this is made for a new home development in Santa Rosa. I was showing them the benefits to the buy down. Again, now, how to help sellers with this? So exactly the same thing. Buyers are looking for an affordable payment. A lot of them are priced out or afraid of the market given what's gone on. And by using a 321 specific flyer to your listing, you can demonstrate the massive amount of savings. So in this new home subdivision, the monthly savings amount was $1,267 for that first year payment. So a buyer could look at that and say, wow, I can buy this property right now and be able to afford it. That's a substantial number, and I'm going to show you how that works out. You can share the specific property flyer at any open home event so that the buyer, the actual prospective buyers, can see. And also you can share this video, or you can make your own video explaining exactly how this works and share that with buyers. Emailing the specific property buy down flyer to any buyer's agents who visit your property. Well, that's a natural. You can send this to them, and that way they've got the information that they can forward on onto buyers. Real estate agents aren't designed to explain mortgage products. So the best thing is to default to the flyer, to my video, or send them to me or somebody else who truly understands everything that goes into it. Let me explain it because it's in my center of what I do. And I mentioned also emailing this. You can also share it at a company meeting that the seller is willing to pay for the buy down to get the buyer into the low monthly payment based on 3.25% or whatever it happens to be at that point. I'm going to flip pages here and show you. This is another different buy down calculator, but these are the sorts of things. If you have a specific property, I can create the buy down flyer from the calculator and send it to you so that you see what the numbers actually work out to be. Very helpful. Again, this is the 321, and now this is the 2-1 buy down. So here's a comparison that I find really fascinating. So you've got a property that needs to have a price adjustment. And again, it's only going to be really useful on properties that need a price adjustment. So a seller can go ahead and reduce the price and then see what happens with a price reduction. In this example, I lower the price 5% to get price down. You know, the price is too high, let's lower the price. And that would drop the monthly payment to $4,381. If we do a permanent buy down where the buyer then takes that money and uses it to get a lower interest rate, well, today the interest rate would drop down to 5.5%, but that's a monthly savings of only $128 a month. Good, but not good enough. If we're using a 321 buy down and we're taking that same 5% and using it to get that monthly interest rate down to 3.25% for the initial rate, then the monthly savings is $1,121 in this example. It's a big difference between that number, 1,121, and that number. Both of those are compared against that one. Much bigger savings. Now, if somebody absolutely wants to do just a 5.5% permanent buy down, that's good. But here's a funny thing. If they pay all those extra points to get rid of that, get to that lower interest rate, and interest rates decline, and they go and refinance at some point in the future, that money is gone. It's lost. Whereas with the 3-2-1 buy down, any unused portion of the money that's set aside for their monthly payment that's unused, that gets returned to the borrower. So nothing is lost at all. It's a better option for most people, is going to be that. Just a couple of interesting things that are going on right now in the market that we should all be aware of. You are probably, but the time on the market is still lower than 2019. So right now the median price, this is nationally, median price homes, the median market time for a home on the market has been 2 months. In 2019 it was 2.5 months. So we're still lower than 2019. Yes, it's a little bit longer than where it was before, but we're not having a wholesale change. It's not a market crash, and we're not going to experience that. Here's another very interesting slide, and it shows the level of inventory, again, nationally, not locally, but the number of properties on the market right now throughout the country is 535,000. It's declined 2.5%. It declined again a little bit further, so 535,000. Well, back in 2019, it was 834. We're still a very low inventory market, even with the things that have gone on with higher interest rates and the slowing of the market. Buyers have pulled back, but sellers have pulled back. So we're not going to see wholesale price declines like we have in the past. This is more likely just a temporary passing phase. It's an opportunity for a home buyer to be able to purchase something. So I wanted to get this to you so that you had all the information that you need. You can go through this with my recording, or you can record over it. If you have any questions, give me a call. 707-694-6604 is my cell, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.